Good morning, everybody. Whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world, this is Coast to Coast. And, man, that game last night was not worthy of prime time. That was a Football Follies episode from the 80s, if I ever saw one. Nobody could hang on to the ball. Yeah. So let's kick it off with that nonsense.
It was worth it if you watched it on the Disney Channel. That was actually really. Did you catch any of that?
No, I didn't.
It was awesome.
I didn't swap over.
Oh my god!
I know it was the Monsters Inc. one. Right?
Yeah, they basically had Mike Wazowski for the Eagles, green and green. They had Sullivan for the Chargers, blue and blue. It was actually really cool. It was a good way to get kids involved in actually watching Monday Night Football.
No, I mean those are always good, right? Because they always have the Nickelodeon game too, and so I mean those are great elements. The NFL is, obviously such a smart marketing machine, but man, you really could have had a better game for Monday night.
I liked it. I saw Pags on Facebook. Before the game started, and he was talking about how he's going to make it their house, this, that, and the other. Well, you know what I saw? If that was their house, then Justin Herbert walked into your home, went to your refrigerator, grabbed a beer, didn't even ask you if you wanted one, sat on your couch, ate your chips, talked to your wife as if you weren't even there.
You realize they also didn't play great, right?
Hey, they played good enough to win, damn it. They didn't turn the ball over a million times.
I mean, it's kind of hard.
They kind of did turn the ball over a lot, though.
They did. Well, Herbert had 7 sacks. I don't know how with that bad hand.
I'm just wondering what game you were watching, because you made it sound like they just blew the Eagles out. That was
I didn't say they blew it out. That's not where I was going with it. That's not where I was going with that, Bo. That's not where I was going. I was just saying that Pag said that they were going to make that their house. And I said, if that was their house, it was like Justin Herbert came in, sat down, had a beer. Didn't ask if you wanted one. Talk to your wife about you. And then
the way you're describing that is like they beat him 45-3.
I didn't say that. I never said that.
No.
I was just saying that obviously it wasn't their house. It was actually the opposite, Bo. It was the opposite. I was saying that obviously it wasn't their house. That's the point.
I mean, again, like you're describing that. I know you didn't explicitly say that, but the painting you're painting there is that they just torched them. Like that game was terrible.
It was definitely terrible.
And right, like it's an overtime field goal game that was horrible. Mm-hmm. Like no one wanted to win that. They were playing hot potato with the football. They're just like, no, you take it. No, you take it. Like, what are we doing? There was multiple turnovers on the same play. You had Hurts throw an interception that then gets fumbled. Hurts gets it back, then fumbles it again. I mean, you're talking 3 turnovers in the same play.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a hard game to watch. Honestly, it was. You got some good defense in there, obviously, right? But the offense was just atrocious. It really was atrocious.
The funny thing is, now I think it's time to actually have a serious conversation as to whether or not the Eagles even win that division. Because the Eagles just look really broken right now.
I will tell you. Hold on. Wait,
Jay. Hold on. And then I'll let you go on your Cowboys tirade.
Tirade. I wouldn't really a tirade.
There is no way they don't win this division, because they have 2 games on the Cowboys and they have the easiest schedule in the league moving forward.
Don't they have a 1.5 game lead, because the Cowboys have 6 losses, the Eagles have 5.
No, it's a game. It's a game and a half. You're right. It is a game and a half. But I think, but it would still take 2 wins from the Eagles and 2 wins, or what I'm saying, no losses from the Cowboys.
No, exactly. But that's what I'm saying is when you look at the schedule for the Eagles, they have the easiest upcoming schedule in the league. Like they have 3 teams of their last 4 games that have 3 or less wins.
Well, the Bills are only one that are above 500, right?
Exactly.
8-4, 8-5, whatever they are. Yeah.
Well, they're the only ones that are even close to 500.
Right.
Like the other ones are trying to win the number 1 overall pick. Like I would hope you can accidentally win 2 of those games.
I would say this though: if any of those teams can just facilitate if the Eagles don't right that ship and figure something out over there, they could be beat. I'm not saying they're going to, but they could be. I mean, with the way they're playing. I mean, you cannot play against any of those teams like you did last night and think you're going to come away with guaranteed wins.
No. So I'm not saying they're going to go on a run or anything. I'm just saying they win their division. They're probably one and done in the playoffs because they are playing horrendous football. I'm just saying they're going to win their division because they have nobody in front of them to keep them from doing it.
Do you think Nick Sirianni is going to be on the hot seat? And I'm not saying on the hot seat because of how the team is finishing. The biggest problem on that Eagles team, everybody knows what it is, and yet he refuses to change it. Kevin Petulu has no business being the offensive coordinator of that team. Everybody knows it. Everyone can see how bad the offense is playing, yet he refuses to make the change at offensive coordinator. Do you think that decision alone could put him on the hot seat, knowing that everyone knows what is wrong with the team right now?
So the reason it doesn't is they're going to win their division, and you watch this type of stuff happen around the league. You can be a terrible play caller. We had it here in Seattle for years with Darrell Bevell, right? He had the most vanilla offense unless you had a bunch of guys hurt, and then he'd get creative. But the thing was we were winning, right? And if you're winning, you get to keep your job, whether you're bad at it or not. And so the thing is even though the Eagles have won ugly and they've lost a couple of games in ugly fashion as well, you're still going to win your division. You're going to go to the playoffs. That generally means you're going to keep your job, even if you suck at it.
And let's not act like the Eagles haven't had a meltdown like this before and then went on to do good things. I mean, we've seen that happen before. So, yeah, you're right. 2020 is what I'm referring to. I mean, I don't think as long as you're on top of your division, I don't think anybody's going to be on a hot seat.
So 23 was the opposite, though, is they started out on fire and then they absolutely imploded. They limped into the playoffs and got smoked. That is exactly what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Is they started off pretty hot. They are kind of falling apart.
Right.
If they are playing anything like this going into the playoffs, everyone will beat them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it really is just you're right. And it really is just the offense. The defense is fine, but that offense is just, they're not playing on the same sheet of music.
So honestly, it's got to be the Eagles here, Rob.
Oh God, yes.
Because for Detroit, they are back in that injury mode where they got half their team hurt again. So I don't know what it is with Detroit, but they just can't keep guys healthy. But the Eagles haven't really had an excuse to be bad because they have a lot of their guys, but their offensive line hasn't shown up for whatever reason. And, so that's a huge contributing factor. But you also just have, the rushing lanes aren't there for Saquon. They're running less of those plays. Hurts hasn't looked like he has over the last couple of years. So, it's just the Eagles probably have to be the biggest surprise as far as falling apart out of those two. The other one that's got to be a huge surprise is how bad the Ravens are playing. Like if there was a coach that legitimately has found their way on the hot seat, it's got to be Harbaugh. Because they have all their guys, and they're just playing terrible.
Yeah. I like how Brad says he has a question. He says Philadelphia. He says I'm hoping that the Eagles can beat the Raiders. Do you agree? I think the Eagles will beat the Raiders. I just like how you don't say cow turds in your sentences anymore, and how you look like Kentucky Fried Chicken. Brad, I've been waiting for that for a while now. I'm sorry, I had to get that out of my system. I'm good now. I can move on.
Like, why are you trying to start stuff, Jay? We
finally no. I just talked about a team. I didn't start nothing. I did nothing personal. Just about your team. Your team sucks ass. I want you to know that.
It's kind of funny what you said, the Bo, like with John Harbaugh now being on the hot seat just because of how the Ravens have played, and it seems like the person that's gone off the hot seat, regardless of their schedule now, is all of a sudden Mike McDaniel. Like Mike
Oh yeah,
McDaniel,
well that's look, winning cures everything. You start winning, everything looks good on.
like Mike McDaniel was on the hot seat like the first 8 weeks of the season because they were a 1-6 football team.
Well, so remember, I had this list put together in like week 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Callahan's already gone. Dable is gone.
Exactly.
And I think everybody else on this list not named
Stefanski.
Stefanski's got to be next. Now, you
I
know
think-
about a guy who should lose his job? Yeah, I'll give it to Stefanski. I gotta give him credit, though. I will give him credit. He took absolute accountability for that last play that they tried to run. It didn't work out for him. I like how he took credit. No, but I'm calling the plays. I like
Aaron
how
Glenn,
I'm calling it.
Aaron Glenn, I think, is safe for one more year. And obviously,
me too.
Obviously,
Well,
Dave
he just got that damn job.
obviously, Dave Canales is no longer on this list for what he's done with Carolina this year. Like Dave
No,
Canales.
for sure. Again, this list was put together in week 3. It's interesting to see the guys that are still here, though, because when you're looking at this list, Canales is not there. McDaniel probably survives another year.
What about
Aaron
Zach
Glenn,
Taylor?
I don't think was ever really in jeopardy, but it's the Jets, so you just never know. But the rest of these guys legitimately could be out of there. Gannon,
Zach Taylor's the other one, though.
No, I just said that.
As bad as the Bengals have been, he keeps getting bailed out because Joe Burrow keeps getting hurt.
Well, the thing so here's where Zach Taylor probably gets fired, and I don't even necessarily think it's all his fault, because when you look at the way that team is constructed, the GM is who builds the roster.
Yep.
Right. So as much as you can be like, oh yeah, he should be gone because they can't do anything. It's like, well, he has 3 players making more than the entire defense. And then you're like, well, how come the defense is bad? Gee, I wonder why. Like, like you do have to actually pay some dudes if you want high quality guys. So, he's probably going to get fired because of that. Stefanski, again, I think he's a good coach. I think he's just mailing it in at this point.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely mailing it in.
I just think he's finally done with the Browns situation.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know what? Just fire me. Just get me out of here. So, there's a couple of guys on this list that I think are no longer there. A couple of them have already been fired. But
do you think that Callahan stays there any longer? I mean, he hasn't looked exactly. Well, Tennessee hasn't had any pieces.
Callahan was fired like 6 weeks ago from Mike.
Yeah, he was.
Oh,
fired.
that's right. My bad. I'm sorry. I forgot this was old, isn't it?
So Callahan and Dable are already gone.
Yeah. Okay.
The only ones on this list that are really still in danger are Taylor, Stefanski, Gannon, and Harbaugh. And Taylor probably doesn't get fired. Stefanski, after losing to Tennessee, I don't know how you're not going to get fired.
Right.
Gannon absolutely deserves to be fired.
Well, are they going to let him get a pass because of the injuries in Arizona this year?
No. I mean, probably because it's Arizona and they keep people too long. But, I mean, at the end of the day, this team hasn't looked good. Even when they had all their pieces, they haven't looked good. They can't get consistent play out of Kyler. They can't consistently get Marvin Harrison involved. It makes me think of Atlanta a lot, where it's like, oh, you got dudes, but you just don't use them.
I think that's going to be the biggest question with surrounding Jonathan Gannon, too, is whether or not Murray's even there next year. Because I'm convinced that Murray has played his last snap in Arizona.
He has definitely not played his last snap there.
I think he has.
Well, no, because his next year is too expensive. He'll be on the roster next year.
It's looking very likely that Minnesota's going to trade for him, and they will take on the entire salary.
Really?
Yes.
That would be interesting.
Wild.
That is why I think Jonathan Gannon is going to be safe, because if they can get rid of Kyler Murray and the Vikings take on that salary, or at least most of that salary, not only does Arizona get rid of their highest.
Where are you hearing this from?
Paul Allen, Minnesota's play-by-play announcer that does his weekly podcast on Monday. Not only would Arizona be getting rid of their highest paid contract on that roster in Kyler Murray, the team has looked better since Jacoby Brissett has taken over. They have him on a 2-year deal, so he would have 1 more year left. And then Arizona can draft the quarterback of the future next year and let him sit 1 year behind Jacoby Brissett. Like, it makes a lot of sense at this point when you look at the direction the Cardinals are going. Murray not being able to stay healthy, and even when he has been healthy, he's only had really that 1 good year with Cliff Kingsbury. it's getting to the point where I think Murray is one of those guys that just needs a fresh start. Whether that's with the Dolphins, the Saints, the Vikings, whoever. Like, he's one of those guys that needs a fresh start. In Minnesota, they are not sold on J.J. McCarthy at all. Like, Kevin O'Connell at this point has publicly admitted that he never wanted McCarthy. That it was the GM that actually wanted McCarthy, and now it's getting to the point where it's like, I have a $34 million wide receiver, and he has 6 catches for 37 yards the last 3 games. Like, how do you? I don't care how bad you are as a rookie quarterback, Bo. You have a $34 million receiver that has 6 catches for 37 yards the last 3 weeks. You
definitely did help out the situation when you tell him that you didn't want your quarterback. So now there's a toxic relationship now between the head coach and quarterback. Maybe there was even already.
It's not that he didn't want him. It's his thing was, I told Kwesi all along that this offense needs to be run by a veteran quarterback. Like, that's not to say he didn't want to draft J.J. McCarthy because he wanted, obviously, the quarterback of the future. But his thing was McCarthy is not ready to run the offense the way it needs to run, which is why you look at Kevin O'Connell's been here 4 years. The most success he's had was with Kirk Cousins, a veteran quarterback that's been in the league for 14 years that has gone through a lot of different offensive schemes, and then Sam Darnold, a quarterback that's been in the league for 7 years that's gone through 4 or 5 offensive coordinators, and he's gone through a lot of different schemes. Those were the 2 years that O'Connell made the playoffs because it's the 2 years that he had a veteran running this scheme, which is why he's kind of said, like, McCarthy needed to sit for 2 years, if not 3 years, to learn the scheme the way it needs to be run. And that's the thing where Murray comes into play. He's a veteran quarterback that's gone through multiple schemes that can at least run this type of a scheme.
Just bought it on Kyler. I know he's a good athlete. I just don't think he's the guy.
He's not the guy, but he's the guy. He's the guy that at least you can stick in there for another year or even 2 years and let McCarthy sit. Because I don't care how bad you are.
He's not the answer there.
He's not, but I'm just saying, like, the thing is, like, I don't care how bad you are and how much you are struggling. How are you not getting Justin Jefferson the frickin' football? And how are you not even trying to? That's where the biggest issue lies. Like, you have a $34 million receiver that can catch pretty much anything that you put in a zip code.
I think Warren hit the nail right on the head, though. That's Minnesota's damn fault. They should have never got rid of Darnold. They had a good thing going with him. They had good chemistry. And then you ship him off, and then you want to give it to McCarthy, to give it to J.J. McCarthy. Now, that does fall on O'Connell, because O'Connell could have stood up and said, no. This is
the GM decision.
That's the GM.
The GM decision.
That's the GM. Then that's the GM. Then that's Minnesota's fault. Then
O'Connell wanted Darnold back, and O'Connell even said, even if we would have gotten Darnold back on a franchise tag, it still would have given that McCarthy that other year to sit. And that's the thing with McCarthy. He's in his second year. He had a torn ACL last year. He wasn't getting any reps at all last year.
No,
so right now he is still basically a rookie right now getting the reps.
Well, I mean, the thing is like, if you remember before he got drafted, I said I didn't think he was the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he just was never asked to do that much in college. Mm-hmm. So, I mean.
And in this offense, you're asked to do a lot, which is why he is a multi-year project where he needs to get the reps outside of game reps.
You know where JJ would be good today, right now, is with the Colts. Because that is exactly the kind of situation that he had with Michigan. Mm-hmm. Is a run-heavy, solid defense. You just got to go make a couple of plays.
And honestly, the Bears too, because the Bears have such a good rushing attack on offense. That's where McCarthy would need to be too. You rely on that running game, and then you just make the throws you need to make.
I can see maybe Mac Jones.
That was the other one Paul Allen was talking about too yesterday was Mac Jones because he's got 1 year left.
Yeah, I was just saying Mac Jones because I think it'd be cheaper to get him and put him in there. If he doesn't work out, that's fine. He doesn't spend a whole lot. Kyler Murray, you're going to take on a whole hell of a lot just to get a guy that's
not going after Kyler. Kyler doesn't make sense in that system anyway.
It doesn't.
If he can't find Marvin Harrison, he's not going to find anybody else.
Funny that you brought up the Colts with their quarterback situation. That could be getting interesting today.
Well, yeah, especially because Riley Leonard has that knee injury. So, I'm curious to see what it is they do.
44-year-old Phillip Rivers is working out for the Colts today and is expected to come out of retirement to sign for the rest of the year.
I mean, that just seems wild to me. Like, he hasn't played in 5 years.
He's expected at the facility at 10:30 Central Time this morning for his workouts.
I get why they'd call him, right? And maybe he
called them.
Well,
I mean, you call him.
Oh, okay. So it really is just he has 10 kids and he needs an NFL check.
I don't know how the conversation went. It was probably like, hey, I understand you don't have a quarterback right now. I can play for 4 weeks. Let me come in and show you that I can still fling it a little bit.
I mean, and he probably can is the thing. Like at the, he's a quarterback. It's not like he's coming back at a different position. I bet he can still throw it around. I mean, even in his last year with the Colts, I mean, he had 11 wins. I think he went 11-5, and then threw for 4,000 yards.
I think he went 10-7, but they got it in the playoffs though.
11 and 6 started all year. I thought he started. I thought he had an injury and missed a game or something. But in any event, it doesn't matter. He threw for 4,000 yards that year. Had a great season, but at the same time, it was 5 years ago.
And the thing is, if they do bring him in, at least he's not going to have to worry about getting hurt as much as some of these other teams because the Colts do have an offensive line. So as long as they can,
he still has to run around and make plays, though. Can he scramble? Can he take? I mean, he's going to take hits.
He's never scrambled. He's never been a guy that.
Like he can't move.
He is a.
I'm not saying it's going to be like all the way out. I'm just saying, do you think he can survive in the pocket?
Yeah, that's what he's done for 16 years when he was a pro. That's what he was. He was a pocket passer. That's
5 years removed, though. I mean, the game speed. The hit. I mean, he's going to get hit. How's he going to react to getting hit?
He's going to get hit.
No, I'm saying if he hasn't been hit in 5 years, I just wonder how he's going to react to it, like how his body's going to react to it. Basically.
I mean, the first game he'll probably be okay because he hasn't been hit. But you got to keep in mind he's going to be playing. Like, if he's there for this weekend, he's going to be playing the Seahawks. He's about to get thumped.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, how long are you going to actually need? How long are the Colts actually going to need him though? Like if Riley Leonard's only out 1 week.
Yeah.
Well, that's what doesn't make sense to me is why you'd even mess. I mean, unless he's planned to be the backup because you're rolling with Riley this week no matter what.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Riley's out this week.
Oh, he has been fully ruled out.
He has been fully ruled out.
Yeah, he's done.
Okay. Last I saw yesterday, he was.
No, let's do. They have nobody right now at QB right now.
Yeah, they literally don't have a quarterback right now, which is why Rivers probably is going to be forced to start this week if he passes his work.
Oh, I mean, if he does that, then yes, he should stay retired because he's about to be re-retired right after that game. The Seattle defense is not the one that I would want to make my return to the NFL in front of.
No, because right now the two active quarterbacks on the Colts roster are Daniel Jones and Riley Leonard. Both are hurt. They have obviously Anthony Richardson on IR, and then they have Brett Ripon as their emergency third string quarterback that's on the practice squad right now. And honestly, 44 years old or not, Phillip Rivers is a better option than Brett Ripon.
No, if that's the case, if they're shoving Phillip Rivers out there against the Seattle front, like that's gonna be rough.
Or what you just said, maybe they're just bringing in Rivers to be the backup and they're gonna start Ripon because Ripon's been on the practice squad all year, but you still need somebody behind Ripon in the case Ripon goes down. So that could still be the case where they're just signing him to be the backup just because they don't have an option.
So that's probably more likely. I can't imagine Rivers gets the start.
He might have to come in anyways if Ripon gets hurt.
Well, no, but I mean, like I can't imagine that they'd start him.
No, I don't think they'll start him. I think it's just more like Ripon's the only option right now. They need a backup. So it's like, here, you're 44 years old. Just go stand over here. We'll hope Ripon stays upright this week.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's going to be rough.
Here's your $50,000 game check. Go stand over here.
Yeah, I mean, Ripon is not terrible, though.
He's not terrible, but it would – in my opinion, it would be similar to the Max Brosmer game.
No, that's exactly what it is.
Like, it'd be his third career start, and you're going up against Seattle's defense. Like, that's not...
I would take a third career start over Phillip Rivers off the couch.
Oh, I would too.
I would too. They still need somebody behind Rippon, and that's kind of where I
It's
think
going to take a good couple of weeks just to get him stretched out. That dude been on the couch.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, you do need someone behind Rippon. So if Rippon gets hurt, absolutely. But there's no way you roll him out there to start against Seattle. Like that's just trying to get dude hurt.
I don't think it matters who they put there. They're gonna have to roll somebody out against Seattle that hasn't had a whole lot of team reps or anything like that. So no matter what, they're gonna get crucified on Sunday.
Well, that's why I think the Colts missed the playoffs altogether.
Oh yeah, I don't think they're gonna make
as it sits right now, they're on the outside looking in.
Yeah, like I mean, do you trust Riley Leonard to win games? He wasn't terrible at Notre Dame, but like.
I mean, he played pretty decent at Duke. He played within the system of Notre Dame, but he can throw the ball. Like it's not like he's terrible. Do I think he can win out? Absolutely not.
Right.
So I mean, ultimately, they're going to be they're going to be out, right? Because as it sits today, they're third in their division, and tied for second, but third in their division because of the tiebreaker. But if you look at the other records. I believe they would be sitting 8th right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you're already on the outside looking in. You're going to drop some games. I would bet this one against Seattle is not going to go their way. I mean, no matter who gets that start, it is not going to be great. So, no.
Hey, I saw something about Deshaun Watson.
That's what I thought right here is he hasn't been ruled out. He's listed.
Yeah.
I heard last night that he was ruled out this week, and he's a week to week.
All right. Well, now I'm going to look.
Yeah, which is where the Rivers. as soon as they,
it wildly changes what we're talking about here.
Yeah, as soon as they said that, like 20 minutes later is when the Rivers thing came up. Like they were talking about Riley Leonard being week to week, and then all of a sudden, 20 minutes later is where the Rivers thing came up, where Rivers is working out for the Colts today. So that's kind of why I'm like, well, why would you bring in Rivers to work out if Riley Leonard's good to go?
Well, no, because if he's week to week, then there's a good chance he re-injures and leaves. Yeah. So, I mean, you would still bring him in.
They get him listed as questionable on the depth chart.
He's not ruled out.
Okay. I heard last night.
He was spreading misinformation.
I heard last night he was ruled out.
Dustin. God,
can't take you anywhere.
Responsibility. Bring back the damn white chair. That other chair got you all discombobulated.
Just over here spreading lies. So Riley Leonard is still listed as questionable.
I told you, Google can't tell you everything.
What did Riley Leonard do? Is it his knee or his ankle?
His knee.
It's knee.
Yeah. So, but that being said,
it's a strained knee. It's a strained knee ligament.
Yeah. Riley Leonard is not ruled out, Dustin.
Yeah.
But that being said, you do have to bring in another option because he is banged up, and knees are easy enough to re-injure, especially with a line that has them kind of running around a little bit. Mm-hmm. So then you have Rippon on the practice squad, and of course, Phillip Rivers potentially coming in.
Can we have that workout on TV? Because I actually want to see how it goes.
It's a workout. It's not going to matter. Like there's no defense. Like you better look good. I mean, I look at a coming in for a workout very similar to a pro day. Is you're going to throw the ball. You're going to have no defense. They're going to make sure that you don't pull a hammy walking from the bench onto the field.
They'll pull a deltoid. They'll pull a deltoid trying to stretch the field of Pittman.
It is only Tuesday, but you can't say people are ruled out when they're not.
Why
all of a sudden you're Whitlock? Just making stuff up.
How old is Phillip Rivers again?
44.
What's his age?
44.
Yeah,
44. So if you're going to bring him back, you might as well. If you're going to go after a 44-year-old, just go after Brady.
Brady's not coming back.
For what Brady's making on Fox, he is never stepping on the field again unless he is.
But sometimes people still want to compete for rings. I don't think Brady would ever do that, but I'm just.
He can't.
He could, but
he can't. He's part of the ownership group of a team. He can't.
Yeah, he can't. Like, he's done.
He could sell. He could sell this week. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I'm being silly. I wasn't really saying Brady was going to come back. Y'all took it a different direction. I didn't know how to stop it, but I was just saying, like, we're going to bring a 44-year-old guy back. You know, I mean,
we're keeping it on this planet. Is it?
is he really on this planet? I mean, is bringing Phillip Rivers back really on this planet?
Well, ahead of Brady because there's a lot of other things that keep Brady out of it.
Oh, I know. I was just okay.
But I mean, that's where you're like, if you're going that route, do you go get a Matt Ryan who's retired or something like that? But at the end of the day, it's not going to matter. They're going to miss the playoffs.
Right.
They have a tough schedule ahead. Best case, they're on their third string.
If you're the Colts, I was going to bring this up to somebody yesterday. If you're the Colts, do you entertain the idea of seeing if Derek Carr has anything next year? Because Derek Carr did indicate
pretty much
as the season was going on this year in New Orleans, that if the Saints were willing to let him out of his contract, that he would be willing to work out for teams this year. So if you're the Colts, do you entertain that idea next year knowing that Daniel Jones is out?
So I don't think the Saints will do it. That's the part that's interesting.
He's a free agent, isn't he?
Unless they're going to give up draft picks or something.
He's a free agent, isn't he?
For the Saints.
Isn't he a free agent after this year? I thought this was the final year of his deal, which is why they were.
So no, he retired, so they would still retain the rights because
they still have his rights. Okay. That's what different than Barry Sanders. When Barry Sanders left, even if he came back, he'd still have to go back to the Lions.
Exactly.
Because Derek Carr, I think, would be an interesting if he was available, or if the Saints somehow made him available. He would be, I think, an interesting fit for the Colts if he could prove that he was.
Now, Deshaun Watson though has been. I know it sounds crazy to me, but they have started to bring Deshaun Watson in on practices. I'm not saying he's going to go to the Colts, by the way. I'm just saying, do you think that he makes it back onto the field? They have slipped out that he could possibly see the field before the season is over. I don't think it's going to happen, but
so they may throw him out there for a game with the Browns, but he's going to be a Brown for the next couple of years unless they just decide to cut him outright. But
that
being said, I do think Derek Carr would be very interesting, except the Saints have no incentive to do anything with it.
The other team they mentioned for Derek Carr, if the Saints are willing to let him out, is Pittsburgh. If Tomlin is safe this year again, which he probably will be because they're going to win the division.
He will be. Yeah.
You're not bringing Aaron Rodgers back.
Probably not.
Derek Carr would, I think, be a decent fit in Pittsburgh.
I mean, if you're the Saints, why would you? I mean, if that was a possibility that they inquired about it, why would you not say, okay, give me a 6th rounder or a 7th rounder? I mean, anything's better than just having them sit out there and you don't get anything. I mean, even if a 7th rounder, maybe you strike gold or something, It's
the fact that the Saints have 2 quarterbacks in Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck or whatever his name is, that if Derek Carr was healthy, Shuck is not. If Derek Carr was healthy, Shuck is not drafted. Like you roll with Derek Carr and Spencer Rattler again. Like Rattler was a backup. And for the most part, Spencer Rattler is always going to be a backup. So if Carr was healthy, you don't draft Tyler Shuck. So if you're the Saints, in the Saints' perspective, he retired basically because he was injured this year and he knew he wasn't going to play. And he knew that the Saints were going nowhere. So instead of just, kind of playing out the rest of his contract, he's like, yeah, no, I'll retire. So it's like, well, okay, well, we still have you under contract. So if you ever want to come back, you're either coming back here or you might not come back at all. That's why the Saints have plenty of incentive not to trade him because they're kind of using it as a more so a kick to the nuts where it's like you literally just retired because you were hurt and you knew that we were in salary cap hell this year.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Wilson to Indy would be interesting. That is a realistic possibility.
Yeah. Jameis.
I think Jameis less so. And the only reason I say that is it has to do with the contracts that were signed. So Jameis's contract is, I think, like 11 or 12 million. and or maybe it's 10. It's right around in there somewhere. Russ's contract is like 2, something like that. So I could see them moving on from Russ. They obviously aren't going to bring him back in anyway because he's looked terrible every time he was on the field for New York. So I could see them being like, hey, if you give us a 5th, we'll give you Russ.
Okay.
I could see that as well. Because it wouldn't impact them financially. It's only a 5th rounder.
Well,
and it gives you the option. And it gives you the option is Willie Beeman. But it also gives you the option maybe to salvage, the season there. If him and Pittman and Pierce can link up and Tyler Warren.
It's not going to matter at all. It's too little too late.
Yeah.
But
Isn't Russ on a 1-year deal only though?
What's that?
Isn't Russ on a 1-year deal only though, so they wouldn't have to trade any draft capital for him?
No. They do if they want him for this year.
Okay.
If they want him today, they're not just going to be like, oh, go play for another team. They're going to be like, yeah, you can have him, but give me something, right?
Yeah.
And you could probably, because they're in desperation mode, they could probably get a 5th at best, but I could see something like that. Winston, I think, has a 2-year deal. So they're not going to give up a realistic backup that they like better.
Right.
They kept putting Wilson in there, but I think it was just because they want to see if he could regain any kind of magic at all, which he did not. But in case anybody wasn't watching,
he didn't.
I could see a situation where, like Rob was saying, Wilson potentially to Indy as a Band-Aid for the rest of the year. They wouldn't have to give up much to get him. He's cheap. I could see that kind of situation. Browns have 200 QBs, pretty much. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, the problem is they have a really tough schedule coming up. I don't see any Band-Aid quarterback jumping in there and fixing that.
Yeah.
And whoever gets thrust in front of Seattle's defense is about to have a bad day.
Oh, man. I would just be passing that ball off or throwing it in the flat. Tyler Warren would be my best friend. I'd be like, don't go more than 6 yards and try to get open.
Oh, no. Just straight Taylor all day. You're not even messing around. You're just like, you know what? You're getting hurt today. Because I am not.
I'll just come out here and be the decoy. You just take the direct snaps. It's going to go right by me, straight to you. I got you.
Yep.
What a time to be alive, man. Jeez.
Yeah. And Joe, you're not wrong. The teams that are consistent in the NFC right now are Seattle and the Rams.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 teams that are really consistent.
And I guess you could say the Packers now, because since the Packers lost,
I would not say that.
Since the Packers lost to the Eagles to fall to 5-3-1, they've now won 4 straight. They're now actually playing good football now.
Well, but only sort of, right? They're winning. If you're looking at the win column, sure. But if you're watching them play, they're not.
See, the thing is,
great football.
The thing with the Packers, though, which I agree that they're not playing great football, but the thing that you need to realize about the Packers is the number 17. If they score 18 or more points, they're 9-0-1.
Oh, I'm aware. I'm just saying,
if 17 points is your magic number, you don't have to play that well. You can just get to 20 points, and more often than not, your defense is going to win that game for you.
When you play poorly, postseason play is very different.
Yeah.
So you can say that during the regular season. That's great. That's not you can't play half of football and expect to win in the playoffs because it's a one and done.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that they've won a few games, so have the Panthers. So, I mean, let's calm down.
Panthers could win that division yet in the NFC South because the Bucs don't want to win it.
Panthers probably do win that division. The Bucs have so many injuries. There's a really good chance that the Panthers pull that off. So, yeah.
Speaking of the Packers-Broncos game and that comment, why in the hell has that game not been flexed into Sunday night?
Have you noticed they haven't flexed any games?
Yeah.
There's been
they flexed
game
the Bears.
flexed.
They flexed the Bears-Packers game from noon to 3 this past weekend. They
Yeah.
flexed
that
the Bears. They flexed the Bears-Packers game next week from Sunday at noon to Saturday night. So they flexed that game.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that one
Yep.
flexed yet.
So that one got moved to Saturday. They just flexed the Patriots and Ravens out of their slot this upcoming weekend or next weekend. So the Patriots and Ravens just got flexed out. But the Sunday night game for this upcoming Sunday is Vikings in Dallas. I'm pretty sure the Packers and Broncos would be a better Sunday night game than Vikings in Dallas. And then you could just put the Vikings and Cowboys in the 3 o'clock slot where the Packers and Broncos were. Last time I checked, I think that'd be a much better game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a ton of games that have been in prime time this year that have
And
not.
the Lions and Rams are also playing at 3 o'clock. You can flex that game into Sunday night.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games that were primetime games that should not have been primetime games so far. Hopefully they do a little bit better job flexing. Because some of them have been rough. Now the one last night should have been way better than it was. So I mean, you looked at that on the schedule and you're like, okay, let's go. And then you watch that game, and you're like, oh,
No.
I understand like which Pee Wee team they put out there. But, man, ball security is going to be the major focus of practice this week, because it's not like they were playing in inclement weather, right? It's not like it was pouring rain or snow. Like, you're playing indoors in LA. You guys can't hold on to the ball. Like, what are we doing?
That's like follow the bouncing ball, if I've ever heard it. That was bad.
Flex Dallas, Minnesota.
I get it, Joe, because I know when you're watching it, it probably is late. So
it's early, actually.
Or it's early.
Yeah, it's early. Yeah.
Well, it's still dark outside. Let's put it that way.
Well, no, I mean, he would want it to be a primetime game, because that'd be like early in the morning for him instead of staying.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. What a time, man. I like this Houston team, though. I think Houston's looking like they can make some. If their offense gets on the same page as that defense, Houston could be really nasty in the playoffs.
Flexing the Eagles out of primetime, that'd be a surprise.
Yeah, I just checked on NFL.com about flexing this week, and while no decision has been made, the Minnesota-Dallas game is the one that's going to get flexed out if they decide to flex it. And it would be replaced by Packers and Broncos.
Oh, because they're playing the Raiders. That's right.
Yeah.
That would make sense to flex out.
Yeah. No, it's the Vikings. Vikings and Cowboys are Sunday night. And if they flex that out, it's going to be replaced by the Rams and Lions or Packers and Broncos. They just haven't made that decision yet. They're going to make the decision tomorrow if they're flexing it out.
You know, Brian, I don't know.
You can't do Monday night games because of the short week. You can't be like, oh, you're playing on Sunday, and then all of a sudden last minute, oh, we're going to take you off of Monday, switch you to Sunday, and we're going to take you from Sunday and move you to Monday.
So you can do that. It requires a 14-day head up for that.
Oh, that way, yeah.
But I mean, that's part of the rules for it.
Yeah.
So if they're flexing a Monday night, I think it's 14 days. If you're flexing a Thursday, it's 28.
Yep.
Oh, dang. 28 days? Wow.
Yeah, that's why you don't see Thursdays get flexed out.
I mean, it's on Amazon Prime anyways.
Honestly, this game is probably going to be kind of a fun one to watch, because neither one plays defense particularly well. So, I mean, that could be a arena football type score. Like that could be a high scoring affair.
And you have one team that's just trying to, finish off the AFC North, and you have the other team that needs to just keep winning to stay alive in the playoff hunt. So it actually could be a surprisingly decent game. Or you have a situation like last night, because it's supposed to be miserable weather-wise in Pittsburgh on Monday, like below 0 wind chills and possible snow. So it could be a very ugly Monday night game too, because you have a guy in Tua who hates the cold.
Yeah, you can't play in cold weather at all.
And then you have a 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers who probably doesn't like the cold much anymore either. So if it ends up being a cold night, then that could be a very ugly Monday night game.
And of course, you could pick the under if you use the QR code on the screen. Up to 125% of your first 3 deposits, 10% bet guarantee in case they go over. with Bet Us. Use the QR code, bet alongside us right here on Coast to Coast. If you are here in the Pacific Northwest, you can use the QR code here. Free 5-day pass at any of the 3 True Fusion gym locations: Bellevue, Ballard, University Village, Pilates Boot Camp, Yoga Bar, and more, including a reformer studio heading to Ballard. Stay tuned for that. Find your edge at True Fusion Gym. All right. Rogers needs to go. I like that Donna drops this every show.
Everyone.
He had his first rushing touchdown in 4 years on Sunday.
What's that?
He had his first rushing touchdown in 4 years on Sunday.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently you can move a little bit yet. Not much, but a little bit.
I mean, just because you get a rushing touchdown does not mean you can move a little bit. We watched Peyton Manning do it.
With the fused vertebrae.
Yeah, I mean, all it means is the defense stopped paying attention. They're just like, oh, we're blowing our guy. Oh, no. So
I just like it whenever Aaron Rodgers gets hit, they show it's a slow-mo and his helmet is always like tilted sideways. I'm like that. I always love it when they do that. And that's I don't know what's going on with that helmet of his, but every time he gets hit hard like that, his helmet always goes sideways.
Speaking of helmets, have you noticed over the last couple of years when it's cold weather, the helmets have been breaking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. They keep saying, oh, these are the best helmets we've ever had. It's like, I broke a helmet because the clasp broke. I took broke part of the face mask off my helmet, which sucked, by the way. That hurt. But I never had the shell break, which is something that's happened a few different times over the last couple of years. Seems like they need to figure that out.
I'm wondering if it just has to do with because these helmets are designed to prevent concussions.
Well, so here's the thing, though.
Because I was thinking maybe they're designed to collapse.
Since I actually happen to have one of these helmets sitting here, is where the flex points aren't where they're breaking.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, I could get it if it was cracking here because of the cold, because it's a flex point, right? That would make all the sense in the world.
Right.
They're breaking here. That's a hard piece of the shell, right? You watched it in the Giants game. You watched a different style helmet break on Mahomes last year. So there is, it hasn't mattered the make, right? Because there's a couple different brands that make helmets for the NFL, but they're breaking in the hard shell portion, not in the flex spots. And that is kind of a weird thing. I wouldn't love that as a player. If it cracked on a stress point, cool. I get it. Be like, hey, what? It's cold. My body isn't flexing awesome either. When you're talking about the hard shell part, that part shouldn't be breaking.
Right.
So. Shout out to Rydell for loaning me that helmet.
Yeah, but you would think, especially with the concussion protocols, that they would have a more, or you would think they go through more testing, I guess, before they actually get put out under the.
They go through a ton of testing, so it's not that.
Yeah.
And just because your helmet breaks doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a concussion from it, right? It obviously absorbs the impact. The problem is now your helmet's broken. So it's not like you get to keep playing with that.
Yeah, but they got about 15 extra helmets usually on the sidelines, like spare helmets, whatever.
No question. Yeah. But at the same time, let's not have helmets breaking.
Oh yeah. So, in a perfect world, that'd be great. But technology still fails every now and then. It just does.
It does, but I went through my whole career without breaking a helmet. I broke a clasp, right? But I never had a helmet just pop. And I was going after helmet to helmet contact because we could then.
I lived on that shit.
You could light somebody up still back then.
What's that?
I said you could light somebody up still back then.
Absolutely. Different paint on the helmet was how you knew you had a good year. You're just like, okay, I remember that hit. I remember that hit. That one was a little fuzzy. Yeah. So I don't know, just kind of weird that we're seeing an uptick. Now they all have been cold weather games, right? So there clearly is something with the plastic that the cold weather doesn't hold up the way that they used to.
I wonder how much, since they've introduced these new helmets and things and all this to try to reduce the concussions, I wonder how much concussions have actually gone down over the let's say the past 5 or 6 years. Like, I wonder if it's been a drastic reduction, because it seems like we're still getting a lot of concussions.
So there is a significant decline. Some of it is helmet related, maybe. A lot of it is the training of getting the helmet out of the way when you tackle. So a lot of the concussions now are more incidental, right? Where they were coming in at an angle and they couldn't get the helmet out of the way, and it happens. But they're also looking for it a lot more. So it's probably not as big of a percentage as you would think, only
Right.
because now you have somebody that's just watching the camera and they see you get up kind of woozy. They'll pull you off the field even if you jumped up and lined back up, right? They'll be like, hey, he took a wicked hit, take him to the tent. So it's probably not as big of a drop as you would think, but it is a significant drop from, a decade ago.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. Interesting stuff. So, let's see what to wrap the show up with. In fact, because we had a week off, we didn't talk about it here. The WNBA still has not come together with a collective bargaining agreement. They just signed another 60-day extension. But now you're starting to see these players sign with these other leagues.
Yep.
So you're starting to see a lot more in Project B, and or the Unrivaled League as well. Going to be very interesting to see how much the WNBA hurts their own product.
Yeah, I mean, because what were they saying? 1.1 million, I think, was going to go to the elite players, and 200,000, I think, was going to be the minimum. Is that the last one I heard?
Yeah, so that's the one that the players just turned down. They're not looking for a defined number. They're looking for a percentage, like every other sport, right? So it's funny in the way that they're so staunch against letting them do this, to really the peril of their league, because all of their major stars that aren't rookies are free agents. And when you look at that last proposal, it was the minimum base is what the current max is at $200K, and then 1.1 would be their super max contract. But there was also verbiage in there that made it so that they couldn't play in other leagues. So they couldn't they couldn't play overseas or anything in the off season. Right. So then when you look at Unrivaled, it starts out at, 250K also. When you look at the Project B, that's 2 million, right? That is a 6 to 8 week league, traveling league. Or you could make less than half and play for 4 months. 6 to 8 weeks, 4 months. This is not.
It's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So that's why they're turning it down, because it doesn't make sense. If they would just do the percentage, I mean, you're talking about a league that's going to make the most it's ever made. Everybody's like, oh yeah, they lose money. Well, they're not going to moving forward, right? I mean, they just signed a $2.2 billion TV contract. They're going to make over $200 million a year. The league is going to do fine. So if they gave them a percentage, and the pushback from the commissioner of the NBA is they're like, oh, well, they don't make as much money as the guys, so they can't, they're not going to make that money. It's like, yeah, but that's not how percentages work.
Right.
If the league makes less, you make less. That's how percentages work. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately they could really destroy all the momentum that they've had.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So
yeah, that's nuts to me, man. So that means we're there. I guess so. There's still. I guess we're not going to have, or as of right now, we're not going to have WNBA this coming or the next season unless they get that worked out, right?
You will, because they still have their draft. They still have players that are under contract. It's just a lot of their big names aren't.
Right? I got you. Okay.
You still have, all the rookies over the last couple of years. So Caitlin Clark is still under contract. Angel Reese, like all of that, they're still under their rookie deals, right?
Yeah.
But players like
Kelsey Plum and
NECA and Asia Wilson and like all of these
Brianna
are not under contract.
Ionescu.
Yeah, like all of their big names aren't, right?
So then the league could wind up losing a lot of their top talent and becoming watered down at that point.
Absolutely. Plus, you're adding 2 teams,
right? Well,
so you're going to water it down even further.
Isn't it 4 teams the next couple of years though total?
Well, no, it's 2 teams this year
though, and then 2 next year, or whatever, 1-1.
So it was 1 team last year, 2 teams this year, and then a team next year, and a team the year after that.
Yeah.
So there will be 18 teams total by the time we get to 2030. But so yeah.
Do you think they'll be able to recover if they end up losing some of these stars like Ionescu and Plum and Brianna Stewart and Asia Wilson and whatnot, or do you think it'll be more just kind of
the timing of it is terrible? So you're talking about a league that is going to finally be profitable, right? And for people that are like, oh, the NBA didn't become profitable till the 80s, so let's pump the brakes. They were around for like 40 years before they turned a profit.
Right.
So the fact that they're going to do this on the year they're finally going to make a profit, that's a problem. That will make it not must-see TV, right? They're going to finally be on networks so people can find them. It's not going to be obscure networks where you got to, scan for it or hope you have the streaming app or whatever. I think it'll be really bad timing if they decide to have a holdout for this season, because you're finally getting momentum. You had the most viewers you've ever had last season.
Right.
And you can't even blame that on Caitlin Clark because she was injured for most of it.
Yep.
How exactly is Project B able to come out, have a shorter season, and pay more money, and the WNBA or the NBA can't do it for their own sister franchise, whatever you want to call it?
So
how are they able to do that?
Yeah, so that is a traveling league. So it's going to go to different countries. It's going to be sort of a soccer layout. So it's going to be, I think it's 8 teams, and they're going to do tournament style in each country.
Yep.
And so they're that's how they're getting it, right? Because you're going to have all these stars from the WNBA playing in a tournament style in these different countries,
right? And where they don't have the NBA, so they're gonna
correct.
show up, whereas we wouldn't show up because we have other sports or whatever.
Exactly.
I get it. Okay. So, yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
And then it comes down to financial backing as well, right? So it just depends on who's sponsoring the league. I'm not entirely sure where all that money is coming from as of yet, but so yeah,
that is insane. Okay. Because I don't think the WNBA is gonna. Well, they'll be able to hold up to it, but like you said, if they don't get it worked out, though, I think they're gonna see a lot of watered down basketball.
Well, I mean, just think.
And how is that going to affect them?
Think of major sports when they've had lockouts. How tough it's been for them to recover.
Oh,
when you're talking about baseball, that was their lockout. They were still the biggest sport. It took them forever to recover. When the NFL did it, it took them years to recover, right? Like these holdouts never do good things when it comes to leagues. Now, when you talk about the WNBA, they're an up and coming league. If you're going to stifle growth right as you finally start to get traction, that's not a great method. So realistically, they should be giving them the percentage that they want, because it's, again, every other sport does.
Right. Especially if you want the league, because I want the WNBA can recover if that actually comes to fruition, where it gets watered down, they don't have good games, whatever the case is, and they lose people's interest even further, I wonder if they even can recover.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, it would probably take years. Now, it would be a little bit quicker because they're going to finally have, TV contracts where they're easier to find the games. But at the same time, if you lose all your star power, people watch the other one. So that being said, that does get us to the top of the hour. Thanks for playing along with us. If you are watching on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. Helps us bring our content to you. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Take it easy, everybody.